There's the sovereign who runs this outpost. He didn't expect his outpost to be invaded, but now that you're working with their rival, he would have preferred if you could have solved this without violence. At least a peaceful solution. It's their last line of defense. Once their guardian falls, they'll surrender. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. He says you did a great job capturing the outpost. Figure you'll know when you're... Worth going outside just to see the night sky. The Wingo Outpost, a legendary Ankati tribe joint. Let's see. Says you need to hit them where it hurts, inflict as much suffering as possible, and make it clear your Murder and mayhem and other terrible things happen. He's sure you've seen it before. Here's the first line of defense. Smoldering already. Give it a good smack. Give it a good smack. A barrel. Smack it to get a barrel out of it. Then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. Keep going. Here's the second line of defense. Bomb lobber. That hit the spot, wrecked it. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. He says you did a great job capturing the outpost. Your says they've been waiting for you. They're ready to bring death. He says you'd better be. The scouts spotted a well being used by the outpost. Mess with its filter, and you could sicken their troops. Says that sounds all well and good. Or bad, you know. The world is so much smaller underground. Get in there and ruin that filter. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Don't let the day pass you by. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Got it. Nothing but greasy goo in their pipes now. Looks like the outpost found out about the bad water the hard way. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Thinks you did a great job capturing the rival's third outpost and believes the rival is weak enough. Says they won't... This is the tribe's last stand. He says you'd better be.
Osikali.
They've managed to roll a bang ball against the fort, and the plan is to detonate it. However, you need an inextinguishable torch to do that from a distance.
Paro, Vlada.
Figures a plain torch will snuff out when it's thrown, so you need to add some boom powder to make it inextinguishable. As long as karma exists, the world changes, and we change with it. Your key is gone. You need to hit them where it hurts. Inflict as much suffering as possible.
Dunzadne?
You're the hammer on their nail. The megamuck in that cage looks like it could cause serious turmoil. Hard work opens doors. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Just get out of the megamuck's way. The day is wasting. Time to get to it. The wire claw looks like it's strong enough to pull down a gate. But you just need to aim straight, shoot and pull, and the gate will come down. Anybody home? The Ankati tribe believe that solidarity is what is needed to keep the world in balance. They're steadfast in their conviction to unite the tribes and move forward together as one. He was hoping it wouldn't end this way. There's no reason to fight instead of uniting. It would be fighting over nothing. He'll... The rival Sifu is defeated, and the destiny of their tribe is in your hands. You are free to choose their fate. He'll leave it up to you to decide the fate. And step by step, until all have given up their rights for the good of others. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. Your Sifu is pleased. Your help sealed victory and the destiny of the rival tribe. But he's still eager to seal the fate of the world. It's just a matter of time before the tree will fall. Fate is never fair, and it loves the fearless. It's your duty to make one thing happen instead of another. What leads to what and what destroys what. You've grown so much stronger than when you first met. And now, the tribe relies on your... It's the Ankati bow. Stories keep moving whether you drive them or not. Gizmo will always make time for you. Gizmo will... under that sky while you still can. You've already drained yourself. Let's see. Always good to have some wood scrap like that on hand. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above.
Mopu far kobi.
Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds.
Boyobut.
You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility.
Boyobut.
He worries about you. If you love yourself, you don't hurt others. But the more you hate yourself, the more you want others to suffer.
Momomusu?
Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots.
Ilia antuf.
He promises he'll be there for you. Just come talk to him beneath the tree if you're feeling lost.
Noekek ujbar no barke.
Out of Date says there's a time for everything. And now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone.
Udenuku nunyofobo.
Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things.
Yunuluaftula maotoliawaho.
He's worried that you're putting the world at risk. But darkness isn't necessarily the end of the world. It's just another perspective.
Tolua lo toloka. Ye mufurbo. Bumu.
If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run.
Ba lo yualu. Kuzata ghetto.
He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees.
Kuzata ghetto. Yevovo lolanofo.
He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core.
Mpa, wherefore, where?
The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate.
Kobra yake, koibe, okorfabe.
He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head.
Tolomawanya, kim hobe, bekuku, hifar muk.
It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real.
Yowotuluaka, nuka, nuburak.
He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground.
Nuka, Nuburak.
The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out.
Kuchai? Hifar befarb. Weta gono.
The Ark has room for 4 more, even if you think no one else is worth saving if the world comes to an end.
Alu putulua le yayado.
He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark, in the event of a cataclysm.
Iboda Kilmok.
Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past.
Miami.
LUPA LUPIN is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there.
Shintuata motihuasa. Auketo tul atu iamangau.
It's in your nature to hope for the best but prepare for the worst, but it's likely a meeting with the Lupin will end in confrontation.
Shintuata motihuasa iatu iau mawa.
He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. LUPA LUPIN's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains.
Ewe bobuye. Weta gono.
Out of Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there.
Loma utulu ba yowo.
He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror.
Ewe bobuye. Nuwekek ujbar no barke.
You should get over there, come face to face with destiny. It's going to be you against the Lupin. No rules.
Evunkutu buvum.
He wonders what's on your mind.
Miami.
Says you... You feel soggy enough yet? Your key energy is too low. LUPA LUPIN's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Tread carefully here. This is LUPA LUPIN's camp. LUPA LUPIN says he's been looking for you. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy, only vengeance. He can see that you're like your mother. You would have made the same decision and taken the same action she did. You're a killer too. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. LUPA LUPIN says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. He knew his time would come and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature, and he couldn't go hungry. Just so. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates, and the strongest survive. Just so. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours. such a dark night. You're absolutely drained.
Koyetu koweboy. Why katawa?
Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy.
Satuatan papkila. Ya moluwando.
He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east.
Do wowu.
Out of Date says he knows you're good-hearted enough to do your best to support Noko.
Loa tolu dum atu awa ya ea.
He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped.
Boyobut. Why katawa?
Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World Eater is stepping up its activity.
Kim hobe bekoko hifad muk.
He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World Eater, but needs help to get it prepared.
Muk bebuk.
Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help.
Maotoliawahu.
He's happy to help.
Tolumawawanya.
Says you'll meet again. How long has this night gone on? as little energy as you have. Such a bright day to wander around in. Keep focused on what you can do today. Tomorrow's already gone. Wood scrap. The one kind of scrap you could actually still find growing. Right in the face. Kaboom! The note pen. Noko never leaves this place. She's always put the living things first. Let's see. A mount peak is always farther away than it looks.
Puri kumbala muma.
Nooks isn't an easy language, but at least it's manageable. She says she is so happy to see you again. She wonders if you remember her. She's Noko. She let you ride her Majut when you were a kid.
Pial tu ma.
Noko remembers you used to chase around with so much energy and is glad to see you haven't lost any of that spark.
Ariaroche nui mumera. Vaiseno kasaman wuru.
Is sure they'll come back on their own once you stop forcing them. Hopefully not to haunt you, though. You've suffered enough already.
Taifanamenuma. Ferena masalapu.
Noko remembers those days too, but she never lets herself wallow in them, no matter how tempting that can be.
Pendrine senema. Ferena masalapu.
She sees you're back to buck with Lupa Lupin. Can't see how there's any way to avoid that now. Not for long, at least.
Minalagi mamuru. Kana munta.
She says the horrors of your younger days were enough to ruin anyone, but not you. You've got all that cheer about you still.
Inadabsunka. Kala. Andro. Kanyala no toro.
Noko says history is like the trail you've been on. You can walk back down it any time you like, until it's worn smooth. But you get to blaze your own trail from here.
Sadurutu. Andro?
She wants Lupa Lupin to pay too, even though she strongly believes forgiveness is the strongest revenge.
Inadabsunka. Andro?
Asks how many paths you've wandered in the world, and if you ever wonder about what might have changed if you'd taken different ones.
Inadabsunka. Kanaruta. Minalagi mamuru.
The choices can be overwhelming, but you have to choose, or you just stay where you are. And what kind of choice is that?
Masama. Kamonu.
Hates to think of what's going to happen to all the Gnotes when the world dies. Nothing left to care for.
Ritsentene.
Hates that you didn't care enough about the world to fight for.
Asana yotpa.
Can't believe you joined up with the Jagni. They're constantly pecking around looking for things to swipe.
Asana yotpa.
Like,
Anora kapapon.
but let's not speak of that now.
Brumblene marsamomu.
She has an idea where the Majut might have gone, as there's no other place it likes as much as its own corner of the open wild. She's even named it the Majut Meadow.
Pial tu ma. Ferena masalapu.
The Majut will recognize the scent you've attracted while being here, so it'll probably trust you enough to follow you.
Tukonda.
You should lead the Majut back here when you find it. It's going to take time to get it calm enough to be able to ride out to the World Eater.
Pendrine senema. Aplitonumuta.
She's sad that something as wild as the hoof puff can't be tamed, but has to come to terms with the fact that you need to stop it. That's just awful. Watch your step around here. The Tree of Life still stands. Question is, for how long? You found the Majut Meadow. Watch out for the Majut. The tree needs our help. Nothing can slow you down. A mountain is the opposite of a swamp.
Sanna jote. Pendrine se nämä.
Now that the Majut is back in the pen, it seems calm, but Noko is still concerned.
Urassa turut.
She says the Majut is still anxious, but fortunately she knows just the thing it needs to calm down.
Peri assa turutu.
The Majut once found and ate a bonbon gummy by mistake, and that the chewing really calmed it down.
Kala ngavaldu. Urassa turut.
She says that you should find some bonbon gummies for the Majut by the crossway. At least, that's where she found some last time.
Domale tuk. Andro? A sanna jotpa.
It's easy to describe. A crossway is where roads meet in a knot and merge. This one is in Sector 7J, if you're familiar with Out-of-Date's map.
Tarayu halafanyasa zatimbula.
A nice haul. A good deal all around. Keep your eyes sharp. Hard to see in the dark. You make this look simple. Cranks like these usually need to be wound to operate the dispenser. What you see is what you get, once it's out of the blind box, that is.
Sanna jote.
With its attention diverted to the chewy bonbon gummy, the Majut calms down. But Noko is still concerned.
Dropalu. Kieldu male kanoto.
She's relieved the Majut has calmed down, but you'll need a heavier sit-tight to ride it than the one she's got.
Asilnatu.
The only sit-tight she can think of that would be heavy enough is one she's spotted mounted on an old-world mechamajut.
Asilnatu. Asilnatu.
If she remembers correctly, she spotted it at the Smilo shopperia while scavenging for treats for the gnotes.
Minalagi mamuru. Taifanana numa. Kialdo male kanodo.
Seems the old world had plenty to offer, and all in one place for those obsessed with material things. Almost too much, if you ask her. The Netra fortress. Tread carefully here. When a story comes to you, pay attention. Yuck! That there's a sludge gush field, where the company used to suck sludge from the underground. Now it's all over. Putrefied! You don't have the key energy for that. See that e-waste? You could use that for sure. So much damage. The Smilo shopperia. Guess shopping here put a smile on your face. Couldn't just be open, eh? Just charge right along. Who cares if they see you? You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Now hold on, sit tight. Isn't that the Mechamajut over there? You need to loosen the bolts without rattling the Mechamajut. That's it. The sit-tight is loose. Time to stop horsing around and get the sit-tight back to Nocco. Is your mount paying attention?
Kialdo male kanodo, minalagi mamuru.
Now that the Majut's got a mouthful of bonbon gummy and the brand new sit-tight is in place, the Majut is ready to ride.
Asana yotpa, inadabsunka?
Nocco's been training another fantabulous little critter that'll hopefully become a distraction for the hoof puff when you confront it.
Pala, kanamunta, kanarota.
She's called them glitter moths, and the best way to find them is to go talk to Mito. She's asked him to keep them somewhere safe.
Kanyala no toro.
You'll find Mito at Brightlight. He's a light-headed fellow, but hopefully he'll remember where he stored the moths.
Pial tu ma tukonda.
She's noticed the front teeth seem to be a little loose, so you might be able to pull them out with the pull hook. Nighttime is the better time for lots of things.
Saikandum.
This place is called Brightlight. Mito lives close by. Let's see. With the world getting darker by the day, there's not much time left to save it. And even though you've just met, he feels you're bound to play a huge part in that. Claims to be a simple lamp maker. You've found your way through the darkness. You shine like the sun in the sky, but will you use that power to warm the world or burn it? Begs you to center yourself in the light. It can show you the way out of the darkness. No matter where your path takes you, though, it's important to remember where you came from. The past bright-lights the present. Wonders if you know how much of an effect you've had. Says he can see that in the way you brighten everything up. Wishes you could see your way toward using your fire to light the way in the world, rather than burn it down. Stunned that you decided the world wasn't worth saving, what was it that burned you? Thinks it's funny you worked with the Jagni. They tried to rob him once, but he scorched away any that got too close. Thinks that's smart of them, and he's happy to use it against them. Says he can see by the twinkle in your eyes that you're not here to talk about your allies. He assumes you are here to be enlightened. He can't blame you, as everything just feels dark and hopeless. There's something about you, like you're knit together. Your fate's connected. What you've said, he feels too. So, why not call him Me Too? He senses you're like the dayfly, living every day like it's your last. Believes no one is entirely dark. Even the worst have a spark of good in them. Mito says he's not only into those who shine bright, he likes things that glitter too. He reckons you haven't seen a glitter moth, and says it's about time you did. Even though they're nesting near gone grass, they never run out. Finding yourself a glitter moth would give you that glimmer of hope you need to continue all the way to the end. Moth glows with delight at your bright. Careful in the mountains. Falling is awful. Landing is worse. Energy. E-waste, the stuff you need. The story will go on as long as there is someone there to listen. Balance is the key. Glittermoth Cave is right here. Have to love another fresh start. That's enough glittermoths to make her plan work. She wants you to stop worrying about the paths you've ridden and focus on the inevitable road ahead, the one that leads to confrontation with the World Eater. The hoof puff is evidence of the duality of evolution, utterly beautiful and grotesque at the same time. She means that the hoof puff has had more time to eat at the root as it's been isolated in the Knoopstonies Mountains. So, based on that alone, she reckons it has suffered as much damage as the northwest root that's hidden beneath the surf. It reminds her of the gnotes and, like them, it's hoofed. They're just a lot bigger. got to believe how serious this is if you want to have any effect on it.